Welcome to another episode of Shipper War, my review of Anna Karenina.
Shipper War. When ship happens, I'm there.
Try to say that 10 times. Wow. Okay, anyways. So Anna Karenina is a movie that I was actually really looking forward to. It's directed by Joe Wright, and he's directed some films that I extremely love to the point that I own them. A Torrent and Pride and Prejudice. Love these movies. And then he also did Hannah, which I also really enjoyed but do not own. So I was really looking forward to this movie because of that fact. And unfortunately, I have to say, to be completely honest with you guys, I did not completely enjoy this film. I actually dozed off several times while watching this movie. And I should have known this movie was going to be an issue when, prior to the film starting, they gave us this big pamphlet here basically outlining the story of the film and all the characters. And they told us, please read it before watching the movie. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you making us read this textbook right here about the movie they were about to watch? And now I know why. So, me personally, I didn't have a hard time following the story, even though I was dozing off during the movie because I thought it was pretty damn boring. But a lot of people I was with had a hard time following the story. So many characters, so many different little plots going around here and there, that they had a hard time following the overall film and came out of the theater wondering what exactly was the purpose of the film. To me, I honestly don't know what the purpose of the film was besides don't be a slut and be faithful in your marriage and you'll be a happy person. That's the moral of the story I got in this film. But apparently there was more to it. Also, on this pamphlet that I have, it also stated how this was like the best love story ever. Several times on that pamphlet it states how this is the best love story ever. This movie's love story was not the best. It was nothing close to the best. It was nothing like A Torment. It was nothing like Pride and Prejudice. It was nothing that any of these other epic love stories that we've seen either in film or read in books. This movie or book this movie's based off of does not compare. If this film is anything like the book, what a garbage love story that was. I don't understand what kind of love story that was because I didn't find it to be very romantic to a certain point. Like when it first started, I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. Okay, I see where she's going with this. She's unhappy in her marriage, and this guy comes in and he, you know, charms her and he wants to be with her, and he's this playboy guy, but yet he's, you know, putting that all to the side to be with this woman. So it's kind of romantic in that sense. But then afterwards, you realize what this story is, and you're like, this is not romantic at all. This is not love. This is garbage. This is completely everything a person should avoid ever getting into when it comes to a relationship. That's pretty much what this movie was. I just did not enjoy the story. And it was 2 hours long, and oh my god, did it feel like 2 hours. It was, if you felt it. And the only real positive in the film was that the acting was good. The sets and the visuals in this movie were stunning. Like the way it was directed basically like it was on a stage and you were watching a play. And I thought that was brilliant how they did that. But outside from that, the story itself just took away from anything good about this film. Also, the other thing that really bothered me about the film was this is supposed to be based off of a Russian book. These are all Russian characters, but yet they all have English accents, which I don't mind. Like, you can talk English, but at least have a Russian accent while you're talking English. At least do us that favor. But no, they don't have no Russian accent whatsoever. None of the characters do. They all speak in an English, British accent, and I don't understand why that happened, but it does, and I personally just didn't understand it and did not like it. Now, after I saw this movie and I was speaking to one of my coworkers about it, he was like thinking the movie was based off of a animated cartoon that came out in the 90s called Anastasia. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but I personally loved that film as a kid. There's this one song, Journey to the Past, that I freaking played out so much as a child. That was like my theme song for the longest time. Long story short, I would have preferred a Russian movie based off of that story than what this was. This is supposed to be an epic love story, a Russian classic. Personally, I don't know why. maybe I'm not educated enough, I don't get it, but this movie just did not do it for me. And note to any future director out there that want to like take something Russian based and turn it into a movie, take the story of Anastasia and make that into a live action film, because that would be a 10 times better film in my opinion, and it would be more of an epic love story than this film ever was. Now, who would I recommend this movie to? I honestly don't know. I guess if you're curious to see it, you like Joe Wright and you like his directing, you like his previous movies, I guess go check it out and see it for yourself. Maybe this just wasn't my cup of tea. Maybe those who are fans of his films will enjoy this movie. I'm not exactly sure. I guess anybody who's curious to go see it, go see it. Other than that, I really can't recommend this movie to anybody else who just did not have a general interest in it, because it is a 2-hour long movie and it is a romance, and it's different the way it was directed and done and all that kind of stuff. So if you're not really into very like artsy movies, I wouldn't suggest for you to go see this film. So yeah. So that is all for this episode of Ship of War. Goodbye, and until next time. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, or please subscribe. Apparently the subscription button has moved on YouTube. For me it's still up there, but for some people it's down there. So please subscribe. Now, I'm going to be completely honest and say the main reason why I went to go see this movie is because of Helen Hunt. And that's because I haven't seen that woman in anything in so long. I think the last film I saw her in was the film Bobby, which wasn't really that great. I honestly can't remember her in anything else. It's like she just disappeared. And now she's back. And she's back in this movie, The Sessions. And I felt like if she's doing this movie and she's coming out of that hiatus that she's in, is because she believes in this script. She believes what this film is about. So